is Michał. I'm working with Ember over 1 year. So today I want to share with you some knowledge about building extendable components with good API. And let's begin with agenda. First I want to talk something about what is the high order functions and components. Next I want to focus on extending in not very good way, so what we should avoid. And on the final I want to talk something about how to rewrite component in with high order pattern. So let's begin. So first, what is the high order? High order function is basically a function that takes some parameters and return another function. So, like in this example, we can create function that will add every value, increment every value by 4, or here by 6. So it's just simply closure. And it's basically that. Header function takes arguments and return another function. Higher component works on the same behavior. We take component, pass some arguments to it, and it should return another component. But we need to ask a question: can component return a value? It's not so easy, but it can by using this yield keyword and helper. This is an example of using yield to return value, but this method has some restrictions. We can see that this value returned by this yield lives only in this block. So it's scoped but it returns. Okay, so imagine the situation when the client comes to us and okay, I want a new feature. It will be user profile box, but I need this component in many places in the application. But in some places it should look like this, and there something different. So 1 year ago, I think I will create something like this. So mess and ethology. We can see that API of this component is full of mess, and if we change something, it can break the component. But after a feedback session, we can create something like this. So I think it's refactor. We can hide the default values in component, and yeah, it will still be messy. And after that hiding, the interface looks clear, but under the hood it's do much things. Okay, so if client after 2 months come to us and say, okay, I want to display something between the avatar and the username, okay, we can still sculpt something in this code and add the yield keyword and pass there some additional information, but this is the place when we cannot extend it more, because if client come and say, okay, I want to add something above this avatar, and we need to rewrite this component and create a new one because this code is locked. So we can say him, no, we need something else. So let's use high order pattern to rewrite this code. We have a component helper in Ember that will do much things for us, because in this pattern we need to return by yield keyword another component, and this helper allows us to dynamically render a component. Like in this example, it will render component from a string. Okay. This is an example of first iteration of rewriting our component. So we are creating template where we are yielding user avatar and username component with default values. Also, in the interface, it looks much clearer, and we also can add something here, here, and here. So our component is now really easy to extend. But there is something here that we must work in next iteration. Of course, we can override our defaults from here. So it's really easy to customize in every place where we are using this component. Okay, but like I told before, this place was painful because if we will render more than 2 components, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arguments. But we can avoid this using this hash syntax. So we just yield something like object with under the keys will be placed components. Okay. And this is a shorthand syntax. We can see the difference. There we are using component keywords to render this component from the hash. And there, if we're using the hash syntax, we can just use dot notation and everything should work fine. It gives us much flexibility under the hood because every of this component can also be built in a high order way. And by this we can really easy customize in every place this component. Everyone can be extended and every one tag we can put something above, under, and do everything we want with this code. But okay, it's really hard to remember the full API of our components in our app. So did we need to remember all of it? Of course not. We can create something like default behavior. So if we don't want customize, it just render the default behavior. And if we want customize, we can just replace it with block and extend in a way that we want. Okay, there is a list of repositories that are built using this methodology and pattern. If you want to extend your knowledge about it, I really recommend to look at the code in these repositories and analyze it. Okay, that's all from my side. Any questions? Yes?
How deep you can go with
you can go infinitely, but I think we should. It depends. I recommend max 3 level deep or 4. It's hard because it's the same mess like before if we go too deep.
And in case of higher function?
Higher function, it depends on the. Pipe infinitely. If you're doing it recursively, you can go really deep, but I think you need to analyze the problem and think it will be clear after a year if you come back to the code. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.